I do this a lot when I'm thinking. I do this like, what am I thinking about? Recently I saw a picture of Sam Harris on a video thumbnail where he was at a debate or something, and he's doing like this. This really looks like you're thinking, doesn't it? This movement right here. It's like I'm taking the knowledge out of my head and I'm giving it to you. I'm just like, I like this. Anyway, Saturday, the Powerball lottery had gotten up to a $135 million jackpot, so I decided to play it. In the meantime, in that space of when you buy a lottery ticket and before you know the results, there's that period of where you feel like you have a 50% chance of winning because either you win or you won't, which totally goes against all forms of odds making and probability math. It's just like, there's a chance, I have a ticket, I could be the winner, but then some guy from Rhode Island won it. But during that period where I was thinking maybe I had $135 million, I started thinking about my previous video. It's probably been a year. I think we're past the anniversary by now, maybe not, but my castle video. And I talked about revisiting it in a year, and it's about a year, I guess, since I made the castle video. So I was thinking, what if I had $135 million? Like, the castle idea was just with like $3 or $4 million. But then somebody actually bought that castle that I was talking about for like 12, I think. It like went up. But $135 million, I was thinking like, what the hell would I do with that? Obviously there's some personal things I'd like to do that has nothing to do with you guys, but I would like to buy maybe not a castle, but like a giant hotel and then use that as a castle. I'm sure they probably cost, I don't know what a hotel costs, like a skyscraper type hotel. 100 million? 500 million? I don't think they're up at the $1 billion ranges, are they? But anyway, probably where I would want to buy one it would be, because I would want to get one either in LA or Las Vegas, somewhere West Coast where it's nice and sunny all the time and there's like conventions. Because I'd want it near a convention center where there's a lot of anime and game conventions, because I want all my subscribers, or my whatever, people that like the same kind of stuff I'm into, to be able to like use the hotel rooms to like live there. I don't know if I'd have to pay like a maid service to clean them or not. Like when people come in and out, maybe they leave for, maybe they just stay for the summer and then they go back to their normal lives or whatever, and more people come in. And then like I'd have like a big restaurant in the bottom of it maybe, or like an arcade / bowling alley maybe on one floor. And then like a lot of hotels have a convention center in the bottom of them with a pretty big lobby, And maybe they have floors with just like no rooms, just like a big something or other that you could do that with. Then I'd like to have some smaller rooms set up kind of like Japanese schools that have like club rooms, like the anime Genshiken, where you could have like retro gaming rooms. Like if you want to have like a Sega Genesis room and like a PlayStation 1 room, Nintendo 64 room, SNES room, you have like retro gaming rooms people could go into whenever they're in the mood and have like little group sessions of gaming. And then, of course, I would have like two libraries. I'd have like a book library, like a normal book library, and then I would have like an anime manga library. Where, if you ever seen Bakuman, the anime, they have like this room that they inherited from their uncle that they draw manga in, and it's like every issue of every manga that's ever been made, pretty much on the shelves, right? So the library would be pretty much like that. And you could have like box sets of anime there and stuff. And people could come down and like check them out like a library book, and take them up to their room, watch them. And then when they're done, they could bring them back and other people could get them. Pretty sweet deal. Pretty much I was just trying to design like the ultimate paradise kind of place. Like, I don't guess I would even make money off of it. It would just be like a hangout place. But people would want to buy land or like have a restaurant or something near there because just the sheer number of people that would be there. I don't know what like a popular restaurant is for like gamers. I was trying to think of what kind of like my favorite restaurant would be, like if I lived on a deserted island with just me and like some restaurant. Well, it wouldn't be deserted because there'd obviously be people working in the restaurant. Just be me and some restaurant workers that get flown in on a plane every day. Or just say like if you only had one restaurant for the rest of your life, like what would you want? And I'll probably go with like a Long John Silver's / A&W, because that has burgers and it has seafood, like Long John Silver's stuff. But then you wouldn't have pizza, you wouldn't have Taco Bell for the Mexican food, and you wouldn't have like what was the other thing? Like Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen has burgers, but they also have really good breakfast items, like gravy and biscuits and eggs and sausage and bacon and shit. And they have cakes and ice cream cakes, dessert type stuff. So like a Dairy Queen would be good, but then you would want to have like some kind of like barbecue kind of place, steakhouse. It's hard to live off just one kind of restaurant for your whole life. I say that knowing full well that there are starving African children that eat rice balls and flies and dirt all day, but man, they would kill for a fucking restaurant. Just one restaurant. They would love it. That's why they have like McDonald's over the world. It's like, oh shit, we got a McDonald's now? Huh. Totally, McDonald's would be way down on my list if I could only have one restaurant. Like, I don't see why everybody likes McDonald's compared to other restaurants. They don't have really a lot of options. Chicken McNuggets, burgers, salads, McFlurries. They got breakfast, and that's about it. I mean, it's not really that great either. Like, most of the food sucks. Whatever. You know what we could do with the top floor of the hotel room? Like, I would like to have a dance floor. Not like a dance floor. I don't care about dancing, but like a big party place on the roof with a pool. Because the roof of places is always cool. But when we're not having giant parties on the roof, right? The top floor, we could have some kind of, not real windows, but like that kind of fake glass that they use in movies where you can break it really easy and not get cut. So we could have like a Rainbow Six set up on that room, and then people could like rope down from the top floor and then swing in and break through the windows, and we have a huge like paintball or something there, laser tag. There needs to be some kind of, not paintball or laser tag, but some kind of shooting game where you can shoot like bullets that don't hurt, but they register as a hit, but not get paint all over shit because you ruin your clothes. Why have we not invented that? That needs to be like #1 on like scientists' inventions that need to be worked on right now. Is like some kind of fun way to shoot people without getting killed or ruining your clothes. And lasers is just too easy because it's just light. It doesn't have any speed to the projectile. There's no projectile. And it's like, I don't like lasers. It's gay. Airsoft works, but it's like long range doesn't work too well because the bullet's so light. I don't know. Then how would you register hit? You gotta have kind of like an honor system with airsoft. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I would want in like my ultimate paradise place, like besides books and anime and games and manga and food and shooting guys in the chest and a swimming pool. What else? What else am I interested in? Pretty much anything else you can think of you could do in a video game, so it kind of covers everything there with the video game thing. But here's the thing. The best part about this whole deal is if I had won the lottery. And the people from the lottery, they always interview the guy that wins, and they say like, oh, what are you going to do with all the money? Don't they? Don't they do that? So when they come to me, they'll be like, oh, you just won $135 million, what are you going to do? And my answer would be, I'm building a castle, I'm going into space. They'll be like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Going into space? That's really not enough money to have a space program anyway, 135 mil. I could maybe make a private plane to get into high orbit or something like that X project, whatever, X plane. But like, about my whales in space idea. What if I just said I'm going to spend $135 million? Like, what are you going to do with the money? Whales in space. I'm going to make a spacesuit that'll fit a blue whale. I'm going to make a spaceship to launch him into space where he can swim around. Maybe more than one, because you don't want just one blue whale alone in space. Whales in space. That's what I'm going to use my $135 million on. Just to blow people's minds. Freak them out. Yeah. Big fun times. Here's an interesting idea. $135 million, right? You spend it on Super Bowl advertising for the whole Super Bowl, all the commercials. You buy all of them up. And you make atheism ads for the Super Bowl. God, people will be pissed. Think of the outrage. It will be hilarious. Or I use the money to buy an advertisement on the Super Bowl or some other such nonsense like the Oscars or the Grammys or the MTV Music Awards. And the commercial would be for like the castle idea for people to donate money, and then they get to be in the castle kind of thing. And then the castle could be as big as the commercial gets people into it, and then, like, I don't know, buy some land in Wyoming or wherever. But then it would be huge. And maybe it starts a movement, and instead of just building like one castle with our own little community of people, everybody sees how awesome it would be. It'd have to be a really long advertisement, but then they would see how awesome it would be, and like it would change the whole country from the inside out, and like blossoms and grows like a virus, and then like everybody wants to be in this sort of a socialistic community where we all just have fun and not have to work all the time. Eventually, I think we'll have robots that just like make our food for us and grow things and gather it. And if you have robots that give you your food and like take care of the power and electricity and stuff, keep the lights on and keep the food coming, and you got shelter built already that lasts a pretty long time. But why do you really need to work? Do you really need to work then? Do you need to have jobs to have money? You can just have everything for free and just like if you had enough food planted, like trees and crops everywhere, like if you just had fruit trees and like instead of wasting area with grass, you actually grew like some kind of plants that you could eat, or potatoes that you dig up, or like strawberries or whatever. You just go out and you pick up something and you eat it. There's no like going to slave 8 hours a day in a job just to go to a grocery store to buy something that's been shipped all over the world and loaded with fucking chemicals. You just have fresh fruit right off the fucking vine. You go out in your yard and get a tomato and eat it. That's how it works. That's how it should be. What's wrong with that? Of course, if you live in a big city, you use up all your room on buildings, so you don't have any place to plant stuff. That's why we shouldn't have big cities. Plus, if aliens invade, you've got everybody gathered up into one place, so they just bomb the one city and they kill most of the population off. We need to be spread out. More than a city, anyway. At least enough room to you can plant something in your yard. Like the suburbs. Everything should be evenly distributed like the suburbs. Everybody should have just enough yard to like have a decent garden, grow their own food. I guess we'd have to just all be vegetarian because you can't really have wild deer running around your yard. Guess you could keep some chickens and a cow if you wanted. But, yeah, I guess you really need meat. Or soy products. We could have soy farms and just have, like, soy shipped around for meat. And I'm not even, like, a vegetarian. Now, I eat meat all the time, but I know I've been raised to like meat. If I was raised to not really give a shit about meat, it'd be way better. Just like I think I'd be better off if I was raised to not be ashamed of my naked body, like most people are. Like nudist colonies that raise their kids to grow up not caring about being naked. I think the world would be better if it was like that. That's why my hotel would be completely nude optional. Or mandatory nude. You'd have to be naked to live in my hotel. Unless you're fat, which most of us would be. And you have to wear like a robe. Like a toga, like the Romans and the Greeks. They had it right. They wore togas and stuff, but they'd get naked whenever they wanted. So unless you were a slave, then you had to be naked. I've been watching a lot of Spartacus. It's interesting. Is this 16 minutes already? Have I just been ranting for 16 minutes and talking about stupid shit? There's really no point to this video. I just wanted to talk about if I'd won the lottery. Kinda got off track a little bit.